Alright, hello again YouTube, welcome back to more Kerbal. We're finally back to this. God, I can't remember what we're on. I think we're on a moon landing. No, that was it. We tried to do moon landings in previous episodes, and then we were foiled by the fact that, well, we had tried a modded planet pack. Well, Kerbal's looking nice under those clouds. Which looked really cool. Except the slight fault that the terrain didn't load, and therefore you fell to the surface of the planet. Not the best start, one could argue. But yes, we're back to the regular Kerbal system, so we're back to the Mun and Minmus. Does that mean the science reports we have are thrown off? I don't know. Potentially. Did we ever go over the other system? I can't remember if I went over the system in video. I think I did, but... yeah, Artemis is where we're now going to be going rather than the previous one. There's many planets, there's much to do. This one is looking a bit molten and a bit eggish. A very quick coverage of them. That one actually looks pretty alright. Stripes, nice colours. Lots to see out here. But yes, so we'll be... our little interplanetary voyage will be going out to this set of planets. It is laggy a little bit. It may be that when we get to the time of the actual colony, we might have to ditch some extraneous mods. Just get it running well, but we'll see how we're doing. So what I think we'll probably do, seeing as we... there's the floor. Seeing as we nearly made it to the moon before, we might actually try for an actual successful moon landing this time, on a moon with a historically much more solid surface. Probably take landing, I think. I think we had maneuver planning now. Mac jab, tech tree lag. I have put the Modlist in the thing, but I don't believe recording helps its helps the game's performance any this many mods. I'm pretty sure we had maneuver planning anyway. Right, we can't advance those because we don't have a high enough level. Oh no, we just don't have enough sides. Okay, it's not a tech tree. We could take landing for the bigger gear. Oh, we actually don't have any gear yet. Oh, yeah, if we want to do a proper landing, we might want that actually, even with just probes. I think that's probably our best bet. What have we got? What's our alternatives? Fuel systems gives us some bigger tanks. Propulsion systems gives us some smaller engines. Lifters will be some big, yeah, surface lifting rockets. Efficient propulsion. Yeah, I think we'll go for landing for now. Let's try for that moon landing. We'll maybe start on Minmus, because I'm going to have to do this manually, and Minmus is way more forgiving. Takes a little bit more to get out to it in the first place, but it's a lot safer once you get there. Because our goal is, as I vaguely mentioned but not properly explained, for those who haven't seen, we're going to try and put a... because what happened was, Kerbal 2 came out, wasn't good. I understand they are working on some updates, but they're not out yet. What we're going to do, or what I was trying to do, was show off how good regular Kerbal could be, and how much has been done for it. Again, it isn't performing stellar at the moment, but that's because I've got a lot of mods. We're on science mode, so we don't have to worry about money, which is good because I don't think this is quite big enough, or weight, or part restrictions actually for that matter. Yeah, I think we need about... hang on, we have a mod that gives us the Delta V charts in game now, right? We do! Hooray! Excellent, so I don't even have to close the game to look it up. Oh, 4,660? Really? 1,000 to get out there, 50 to land, 180 to take off. Okay, well, we don't even have to come back necessarily, so that's probably fine. We've said this probe before, so I don't need to explain too much about it, but we're going to upgrade it very slightly. Oh, it's not the tiny landing legs, we have got the decently sized one. We'll add a little bit more to the weight, but... metal. Let's add some landing legs. I think that'll be ready. Although, actually no, let's do landing legs and... oh, I was going to say some more science equipment. Actually not that badly kitted out for science equipment. Okay. Sorry, let me just notice this light. We have a lab already? Crikey, that was early. We should probably build our first lab in either the next episode or after we're done here. If we've got labs that early, we might as well get one going and start researching. They can make you quite a lot of science. Make our first little space station, even if we can't dot bits to it just yet. Rendezvous is something where I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt to learn this. There's so much fiddliness to it and everything. It's like, I'm not interested in trying to work out how you actually do that. Leave that one to the autopilot. Right. 3, 2, 1. That's cool. I'll make sure... I don't actually have a parachute on this rocket. I probably could have taken it off to save weight, but... oh well. Order stage down to stage 1. Yeah, that's right. Oh, this one was meant to loft itself a bit more, right? I think I remember correctly. If you turn too steep with this one, it doesn't make it. So we'll go up to I was going to say 1500, but we'd already hit that by the time I said it. 2k before we start our turn. Let's shut the solid rocket booster off so we have to be a little bit careful. And don't kick it too high, but I think it's going to be about right. Kerbal rises. Okay, maybe not Kerbal. Sorry, I sneezed at a very inopportune time there. I guess that's the other star. That must be Cariani, whatever it's called. There's Kerbal. Yeah, there's our other target. Taunting us off in the distance there. I do love the heat haze effect on the boosters. They finally fixed the mod that makes the booster effects look nicer, and they look so good. It already worked reasonably well for the liquid ones, but it was broken for the solids. Now we can drop fully down to 45. Whoop. And then that was a little iffy, but we should be alright. That Cryo Tanks Appalaps, that's about right. 90 will be about fine. We could go a bit higher, but I do love how the atmosphere falls off with that particular graphics mod. Ooh. The sea's shining a bit over there. Yeah, I think it is. Like flashes of light from the horizon. Okay, the graphics mods make this game look very nice. Just coasting through the thinnest bit of the atmosphere. As soon as we get past 70, we can make our manoeuvre because it won't be about to drop any further. Get back up to above 90, and there we go. Once again, as mentioned, this is not a particularly complicated rocket. We've got an LTV-45 running secondary burn. We've got that one big boost solid rocket doing the first burn. And we've got the little Black Arrow Gamma engine to do our final burn and landing. All it'll be Hoffer transfer out, circularization burn, out of orbit burn, I can't think of the name, and then our landing, which it should be able to do. If we've got enough fuel, but I think we will because we don't have to come back. And of course we have trajectories to show us where we're actually going to land, which will make landing planning a little bit easier to say the least. Stage. We can always try and bring it back. If we think we have enough fuel, we can always try and bring this lander back, because the science will be worth more if we can. We have an antenna, right? Yes. Is it going to have a signal all the way out there? I actually don't know, so I'm going to quick save yet again, just in case. 912 Delta V to get out there. Okay. We'll probably have to do a fine tune to or a modified periapse burn. Fine tune's probably the best way if we can get it to work, but I tend to find it's a little bit janky. It doesn't always work. You usually have to set the altitude you actually want to, or usually the altitude you set is not usually actually the one you want. vehicle, fairly fierce sounding. Those are R8 engines, even if they're only little. Oh, there's the thought. Oh, that's why we had the parachute. I was going to say, there's the thought. How are we going to bring this thing back if it doesn't have a heat shield? Then I realised, no, it's because we were coming in to land on that moon. It was just meant to help with that. Well, actually, that's a pretty good encounter. 100k up. Are we out of range? We are out of range. Yeah, that could be a problem. Might have to send some science. Might have to not land then and just send some science supports and drift back. I think in this particular case, drift back to her in single range. Okay, so that's something we'll have to improve for the next one. We'll do our station launch and then we'll have another crack at this. I think is what we'll do. Still zero pressure. Still can't. The thermometer still doesn't work. Mystery goo. Feels at home and material study. Is now glowing a bit. Nice. A quick flyby. Yeah, we're on science mode, so budget's not an issue, so we can afford to be like, oh well, that didn't work, we'll launch again. I'm actually quite liking this, even though we've only done a few episodes so far, I actually do quite like it as a format. We could even oh dear. Okay, we'll quick save here. Let's try and land this. Let's try and bring it back. If we slow down through the worst of it on what rocket fuel we have, we might be able to land this thing. Change periaps. Actually, we're going to want to do this at the apoaps, so it's the highest. Yeah, I'm going to quick save because I don't necessarily actually think we're going to be able to do it. If we can't, we'll just transmit the data. Wait, hang on. Now we have a signal? What the heck? Oh, maybe we're at a bad angle. Oh shoot, we could have landed. Ah, well, that's fine. There was science to gather in high atmosphere anyway. High altitude. Yeah, high altitude's right. Need a warp helper. Oh god, again, pardon me, the flipping residual cough is sticking around like crazy. Atmospheric entry. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Retrograde. Let's go. Five seconds before the atmosphere, it'll drop us out of warp. It'll point us backwards and we'll throw the engine into full. If that's enough to stop us burning up, we'll be able to land it on the chute. We might lose the engine and the fuel tank, but those aren't the important bits. Let's also set that to 180 so that we're protecting the science equipment with the body of the rocket. Because that stuff's fragile. As soon as we actually hit it, I'll slam the rockets on. There we go. Landing legs, you can generate a bit of extra drag as well. Of course, we also now weigh a bit less, which will also help us a bit in surviving. We're carrying quite so much mass through the atmosphere because we've burned all the fuel up. The legs are going to burn off. The fuel tank is actually burning up, or the engine? I'm not sure. It's getting really hot. It was the fuel tank. We're losing parts. I think this may need a bit of pipe dream. Oh wait. Of course it's doable if we ditch all the parts that actually had the science in it that we wanted. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that bit will make it through the atmosphere. It's blunt enough that it actually stops. Well, it was a worthy experiment. might even have been better to hit the atmosphere even harder. If you dropped to an even lower periaps. But in this case, what we're instead going to do is... Oh, did I save at the wrong time? Whoops. What we're going to do is kick it back up to 100 and try and circularize it a little bit. I'm annoyed I didn't realise it was just a lack of signal. We could have actually tried to land, but... Or we could have been a sample return capsule, actually, if I thought about it, but... I wanted to get back into the actual space flight quite quickly with this one. It's fine, we'll do this, we'll build our lab, and we'll send that up with some Kerbals aboard. Can we circularize that next periaps? No, but we could bring it down a lot lower. I'm going to need that antenna at the ready. I'm going to need to check our battery. Here comes the big blue dot with his Kerbal. Kerbin. Engine should be kicking in now. There we go. We'll take it. It's not circular, but it's the best we're going to get. Right. Don't require complete, because I don't know that we're going to have enough power for that. Roughly facing the sun. In fact, hang on. So yes, put as program, we'll probably get a better angle on the sun for the solar panels. That's a bit deader. Yes, this is why we do. This is why we do allow partial. Allow partial basically uses more power, but it can continue to transmit even if you lose signal. It might take it quite a bit longer, but you can basically then time warp through the transmission. I think that's done. Back to the Space Center. And let's start working on ourselves on... Nope. Working ourselves out a bit of a lab. I think that's roughly the right words for that. Shiny C. Right. Now back up to about 140 again. Now, this will be a bit larger. We could go for that to have an actual bit of a station core. This is going to be more of a Skylab type thing, I think, where it's mostly just is the science bay. That could be quite a good way to have some of the stuff together. Yeah, actually, let's take miniaturization. I think actually those science pads might be quite good for our little prototype stations. So, we're going to build this one a little bit for aesthetics as well. We're going to make this look nice. Yeah, we can afford to do so now. It's no longer almost entirely on the budget, which I'll admit Kerbal's campaign is a little tight on at times. We'll just throw that in for now. I think I've seen that one. Right, crew is the main thing because we want to go to the astronaut complex quickly, and let's hire at least 2 scientists. We'll take a couple of engineers, and we'll take a pilot. That'll be a crew for our station. Now we have the key station core, but I believe this is quite substantially large. Actually, the lab is probably what we should take a look at, right? A few options. We've got the Fortune. It's actually quite substantial by the look of it. Okay. Fortuna, we've got the Compendium. Which looks to be the same, but it's got these extra docking ports on it. Or ports on it. And the Ericsson. Which is the wrong way up for this, I think. Okay, so that's got this extra structural stuff, and it's kind of an endpoint. Interesting. That kind of actually does mesh quite nicely with that, because it sort of looks like it's attached to it. Oh, we've also got the Tomodachi. Tomodachi Life, like the game. I believe these are from 2 different mods, which is why they look a bit differently aesthetically. Side stator container. Is that a coincidence? That looks like it's very well suited for that. Oh, it's probably because this is for a this is probably for a Canadarm, isn't it? A robotic arm for moving cargo around and whatnot. Well, we've also got the Nature Science Lab, which is that was also the same profile. Okay, well, that looks like it's more designed for that profile of lab. Guess we need to have a quick look at the actual differences. What was the other thing? It's literally just a little angled attachment port, I guess. Is that what this is meant to go on? I guess you could do it like that, right? You could do it like that and then have a little booster on it to actually kick it off into back to the planet's surface, but let's have a look at these two. What's the actual differences? So, our crew, a single scientist. Oh, there are 2 scientists for the lab. Data storage 500. Air storage 750. It's quite an important one, I find, because that's what tends to slow down how quickly the labs can do stuff. Compendium is good for expanding, and that's also 750. The Tomodachi is 1000. Oh, but he's 4 crew. That feels a little big for our first station, but technically something we couldn't do, and I believe this is about... well, it's 1000 as well. But it requires 1 scientist. That seems awfully lonely. I do quite like the Ericsson, but I think... tell you what, let's start small. We'll start with an Ericsson, so... that'll be our core lab. 32 people. That's 500 again. It's a bit of a nuisance, but I think it actually can store more data than that. The way it actually works, it's just the... oh, hang on, we need just when you're not working it directly, we will need one of these, because I'm going to use the universal storage cord to attach some extra equipment to it. We might need an adapter, so that'll be our... we could probably also have a station core as well, potentially. Doesn't look quite right size-wise. Have we got payload? Oh, that's a logistics module. More for just storing cargo. It's a smaller one as well, but that's not quite right still. I don't know why I'm looking at that. That's the wrong thing. Structural. Big hex trusses, jeez. Hollow though. It's a space scientific experiment platform. Multiple external experiments. Yeah, I guess we could put a lot of stuff on this. Many nodes. Integral truss section adapter. Oh, okay. A full 1 to a half one, I guess. It's just a really big one. That. Do we have an adapter? Yeah, actually. Kind of that, do we have a rocket large enough to launch this? Cargo rack with a bunch of attachment points. Let's actually check our fuel tanks. These might not even be that feasibly launchable at the moment. Size. Our biggest fuel tanks. Okay, yep. Well, that looks about right, but... yes, perhaps we do need a slightly smaller lab for now. Mind you, they're all quite big, aren't they? Nature is the smallest. It's still pretty big compared to the engines we have available, but... I don't really want to send one Kerbal up, given they're going to be out there for ages. We'll make this work. What I might do is I might indeed mount this here with the extra equipment on it. Material bay. It should probably be on one of the sides, which is not in the way of the thing. Have a... oh, that needs to be double length. Have a couple of batteries. 2 of these. And I think for Universal we've got some other useful parts, right? Your input terminal, is that for storage? Yeah, for storing data. Oh, a probe core, huh? That would handle actually flying the craft. That's not a bad idea. Man, that looks so pretty. I almost don't want to shield that. I think we'll shield that with a fairing. That looks so pretty exposed like that. Right. Then we'll attach our booster to the bottom of it. We'll give this a bit of fuel. What to move it? Oh, hang on, we have some parts under utility. There we go. Habitation module, utility module. We probably do want to have a module of some sort. Docking adapter. Habitation module. That'll probably do it. Yeah, we don't actually technically have to give them space to snooze in, but it feels mean not doing it. Airlock. That could be good for attaching other things too. Oh, pressure vessel. That's for docking awful things. Hitchhiker would do it as well. Dawn habitation module, that's quite a bit bigger. Size is a little bit of an issue. We do only have so much space on board. Stick storage. Not actually sure what it does store. And a adaptable. Right, yeah, so we'll go hitchhiker, I think. Yeah, if we do the metal hitchhiker, that kind of fits. We'll do this so we can potentially upgrade it later. Okay, say that. Do we have any docking ports? If not, we won't bother. We do not, in fact, have any docking ports yet. We won't be doing that. Right. Yeah, now how do we get the crew back later? The issue we're just going to cut... Well, we can't dock with it, but they can in the EVA across. That's obviously not the worst idea for capping it off, a little bit of a viewing window. So I really want to launch this station today, but we're actually missing a lot of the important parts for doing that sort of size launch. Don't really have any of the 2-meter parts. I'm not sure what that one's about. But you know what? Service doctors before. We're going to make this work anyway, so... what do we call our station? Tube. Well, that is what it is. Right. With an extremely descriptive and helpful name sorted. So actually work on a bit of a booster for it. We probably will want a fairing over it because it is a little bit exposed. That's not the worst looking thing in the world actually for doing our adapter, but a bigger one? There is a bigger one, yeah, I was going to say. But I'm pretty sure we can fill it with stuff as well. Fuel monopropellant radiator. Well, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because we don't have any radiators. Keep the crew nice and chill. Nothing boiling up in there. Oh, well, where's the middle node on that? I'm not even sure what the other ones it's attached to are. Hang on. It's off for a sec. Oh, it is a universal storage core. I see. Okay, actually, it's not much good. Should attach it directly there, but then it doesn't fit. Hang on, no, it's fine. Tell you what, goes back. I just remembered we have these racks on the side. Whatever they're meant to be. We'll attach our tanks to that. Might have to be a little bit thinner than that to start with, but guessing we're not going to get very much bang for our buck if we just attach directly to this and call it a day. I guess we're going to need a bit more than that. Yeah, 1,000 or 100. 162, yeah, so we'll need a bit more fuel than that, but I think the idea is sound enough. Do we have fuel lines? No, okay. These are going to have to be roughly equal. Go for some, yeah, Terriers are probably our best bet here. Probably the most efficient engines we have for the scale. 800 LV, that'll be enough for finishing injection burn. I really would like to fairing some of this, but I don't think we have any that are big enough. That might do it actually. It's going to be a bit of a lumpy fairing, but if it went up to here, at least cover these fragile bits. That's also the other thing we constantly need to do. Too big, but actually, well, does that actually kind of work because it sort of contains it all? Ah, no, because it's going to be in the way of the engines. So attach the decouplers to something. Okay, this is going to look a little goofy because it's just a bit big in general for what we have in terms of launching capability, but we'll make it work. This is only our first station after all. Here's the colour. Red. Yeah, probably looks a little better. I guess the biggest we have at the moment is, yeah, 1.5 meter. Yeah, but we do have 1.5 meter at least, so that's something. I reckon with one of these, a decent engine and some big solid boosters, we'll probably have enough to launch us. Ooh, that's enormous. Looks terrible. I suppose not awful, but very, very basic texture. Yeah, not a fan of that one, how that one looks. On size, Blue Street rocket engine. It's not bad as an upper atmosphere one. I don't know whether it would be enough. It's like a thrust to weight, but we might just have to assume that's going to be poor early on. Heck 8 would be good because they're the cryo ones with decent fuel efficiency. It is a bit worse though. Yeah, okay, maybe we do need something like that. As long as we get it to a high altitude, that one should still work, right? Like, before we have to use it. What about... Oh, I saw, how does an LTV 45 do? Not amazing. How about a 30? It's more powerful. TWRs above 1. We add a... It probably wants some reaction wheels anyway, because I realise that's something we've missed. So if we added a couple of... Haddock gas thruster. Sorry, I had to... My brain had to comprehend that one for a moment. Oh, where are these going to open up to, so we're not putting them in the way of it? Could add some more gyros there. So we've got a bit of turning ability. Yeah, that'd probably work. The 45 doesn't have much capability to change its course. It doesn't have a gimbal mount. Well, it's a bit lighter and a bit more powerful. That'll be our upper stage. Then we'll have a couplet. Another one of those. What's this one? Right it. Built for a very specific craft, I'd imagine, looking at it. Stage to cut, fairing. Oh, looks like slightly small. Why are you like that? Don't shrink in when you finally get to it. Stay wide. Oh, okay. This is how we have to do it. And then, do we have realistically any chance of launching a bigger stage beneath that? And why are you at this point? Thrust. 145, 203, 205. Kodiak. Oh, 247. Okay, so that's our highest thrust engine at the moment, huh? If I were to do one there... Wrong size, but... Still the wrong size? Yep. Oh, hang on, that actually has a specific... Hey! It's kind of nice looking. Fits the sort of vaguely cruise missile looking theme we've had so far. These are the wrong size, huh? That's going to be those, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. That's not enough. More then? And we're looking 4,200. Theoretically, that's enough. I'd be tempted to assist that with some additional boosters. Too big. Do we not have a... Yep. Strut those as well, because I do not trust those on their own. Actually, thinking of that, we need auto strut on a few of these parts. Auto strut. Auto strut. Definitely auto strut. Aim for you, and certainly for you. Okay. If we give it some solids as additional backup, those might be enough here actually, because it's not enormous, this rocket. Have them both fire at the same time and then eject. Hope you're all firing on the right stages. Yeah, there we go. That gives it a bit of an extra kick, ensures the thrust weight's high enough off the ground. Should be all good. We're running a little long on this episode, but that's fine. We'll do the launch this episode anyway. Maybe we can start the next one by doing some actual science with the station. And we are going to add some Septrons on this because they're very close to the rest of the engines, and I don't want these in the way. These engines will fire. That's right there, there. So fire all those up at once, and then fire these when you do that. Okay. Guess that'll kick them away from the main body. But yeah, aerodynamics might be the killer here, so let's also make sure we have some fins. That huge block on the head on the top is not an ideal shape at all. It's a very Kerbal shaped rocket, this one. Right. But hopefully we'll be okay. Let's actually add... I wouldn't normally do extra fins because I don't normally like how they look, but if they're static. No, they need to be moving because this is the one with the only have 3 on this because it's going to be a bit small, but yeah, because it doesn't have the most control, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Hopefully, between all the stages, we'll get it out of the atmosphere with the lower ones, and then it'll have just enough fuel to finish off its burn and insert itself into orbit. Crew. Pilot. In the observation module. Scientists in the lab. Engineers in the hitchhiker. Oh, we have batteries? We do have batteries. Okay. Oh, solar panels. Solar panels. I was thinking we were missing something. Yes, we would like to be able to generate power. And by like, I mean we need to. And we also need an antenna. I actually don't think we've added one of those yet. We actually need one of those if we want to be able to transmit science back. And we do. Are they going to be blocked when the shutters are open? Quite possibly. Do for those, and then we'll also make sure we have some around the sides, but not blocking the handrails. Alright, let's try this. This will definitely not be possible to build at this point in a normal campaign, partly because of cost, because it's maybe not on cost, but definitely because of parts number and weight and size. It's a big rocket to be building this early on. Mostly again because we don't have appropriately sized launchers. If we had 2.5 meter parts, we'd be able to do this with probably like 2 stages. This wouldn't be a problem to launch at all. So at least wait till sunrise. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. View the planet. Right, an auto stage. We'll want that on. All the way to the top. Look at that, we've got some experiments. And we can actually... We won't worry about it for now. We could actually run it because we have scientists on board. Actually, no, yeah, let's do it. Because we've got scientists on board. We can clean that... No, wait, we didn't have an antenna. I was going to say, we could actually clean up that science report. Or that module. Turns out we can't run it because it's stashed in the fairing, but... yeah, so because we have scientists on board, we can actually clean out the one-use experiments and use them again. Right, we want a... We have something like that, I suppose. Yeah, that looks alright. A little heavy, but it'll function for what we want. Still got enough delta V, trust to weight and everything. Kinda. Here we go again. Yeah, we absolutely can't skip out on an antenna or we won't be able to send data back to base. Might be that probe core we've got on board has an antenna, but I don't want to risk it. And also while the higher power ones do drain a lot of power, they also can transmit a lot of data, so sometimes they actually use less because they transmit it in like, you know, very little time comparatively. Right. Again. Warping to sunrise. It's a beautiful day off the Kerbal Space Center. Right. Got the right crew. Yeah, 5 Kerbals. 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Auto stage, I knew there was something. We'll go up to 1.5 and then we'll start our turn. Oh, there's a bit of wibble. God, missed the turn. She's got quite a high thrust to weight, so it's accelerating fast, but I'm kind of okay with that. I do want this thing hefted out of the atmosphere quite quickly. Yeah, we're going to stay on a high trajectory for now, I think. First scary bit's coming out, which is discarding those solids and hoping they're going to smash something on the way out. Generating what we'd call quite a bit of thrust, I'd say, looking at it. Solids separated successfully. Drifting a little off course. God, be careful with your adjustments, Doug. Our orbit's looking like it could be a bit wonky. We might manage to exit the atmosphere on the current fuel. Yeah, let's just let it kick us up to high orbit and then burn out. Right. I think we're going to be okay because we've actually managed to clear the atmosphere. Put those together so it doesn't try to do one early. I think they're going to be okay, you know. A little picture of our little fish-looking space station. It's vaguely fishish. Fishish? Yes, I am a British citizen of the Fishish Empire. I can't even say it. I came up with this joke, apparently, if you can even call it that, and I can't say it. So those extra thrusters are going to be needed, but I think we've budgeted everything about right. Oh, well, if anything, though, we might be starting to burn a little late. I hope we're okay. We'll have a little bit of fuel left over to adjust our orbit a bit if we have to. Not a lot. We've got to get this basically right first time. Again, we're a little late starting that burn. Oh, it's that glitch again. Okay, so waterfall's not 100% fixed yet. Or at least not 100% getting along with restock. Yeah, it's usually just the LTV. Or LV rather. LVTs even. Do that, but if I align the camera like that, yeah, it's fine. Nothing going wrong back there. No one will ever know, especially if I do that. Speaking of, let's give our pilot some idea where he's going. Or she's going, I think. Oh no, is he? Danbo. Good old Danbo. Hey, direct sunlight. The hatches don't block the solar panels. Awesome. Turn on the ship's lights as well. Put that antenna up so we can see where we're going. See where we're going. Talk to base even. Our Eps is raising but slowly. And I hope we're okay. I haven't left this a little too late, but we could always if we get the orbit a little bit wrong, but as long as we're not going to drop out of orbit, we should be able to quite quickly adjust it. It's only if we're going to drop out of orbit that we're going to have a problem, and we are losing height. It's time for the Thunderbird's dramatic music. Yeah, notice the rocket is tilting up to keep itself out of the atmosphere. I think that might be a better thumbnail image. I like that, how that looks. Gotta get those nice pictures. YouTube actually lives or dies on the thumbnails. Oh boy. Yeah, see, what you've done there is not actually... Change Peri-Eps to 70. Or to fixed time of now. Oh boy, it's not going to be enough. Let's go like that. Uh-oh. How low are we dropping? We might be okay, actually. What I'm going to do is not panic. Try and ride it out. We're losing height, but we're pretty high up. The atmosphere shouldn't be that thick. Oh god, we're going to get a little bit of re-entry. Don't know whether we're best to point nose on for minimum drag, but it's flat, or side on where it's cylindrical, but there's more of it. I think we'll be able to ride this out. Oh god, the front is getting hot. Retrograde. No, radial in. Yeah, put this plant side in and let's tilt so we get minimum exposure to the atmosphere. Let's try it. If cylindrical shape's a bit more aerodynamic. Don't think most real space stations ever had to do a sideways drift through the atmosphere to avoid burn-up, but who knows. Ascending again. We are losing height, but oh boy. We are ascending. I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to drop into it. It's whether we can stop ourselves dropping back into it again on the way out. My way back round. Change periaps to 75. Next apoaps. Okay, we're at the atmosphere. No longer burning up. Okay, yeah, easy. Can we in fact circularize the next apoaps? Yeah. Let's circularize and get ourselves way out of range and danger this time. Oh boy. Yeah, and that's what I said about lofting on quite a high trajectory. If anything, we probably should have gone even higher up. We probably should have got up to about 120. It's why I don't tend to like, even though you can technically orbit at 70, I don't like it. I tend to find it's a bit dangerous. I prefer to poke it a bit higher up, or at least to start higher up and then come back down if you really need to be that close. It really does look a little bit like an actual little spaceship, though. It's nice. Little antenna, little bodywork, 2 engines like that. I actually do like how this thing looks. It is a bit of a shame we couldn't fit a docking port, but since we don't have any, I think we'll have to forget that one. I think we'll do a little bit of science now. Why not? The episode's already ran long. It's fine. Should still have enough time to record at least another one today. Right. You know what we didn't put? We didn't put the rest of the science equipment on it. God damn it. Okay. Material study. First time we can just transmit that straight back. Loads more data, so we're fine. Out. Yeah, that looks right, because then the antenna's pointed at Earth. Crew report. Crew report again, from space. Transmit that. EVA report. How's the weather out there, Gilry? Or Glary? A good look at that sun. Look at her. Look how happy she looks. I think she's actually the first Kerbal in our space program to do a proper space walk like this. Untethered at all. I don't think they know what the tethers are. She'll be out in a minute to get another one as well. One of them will be anyway. Right. The experiments, they'll clean up the materials bay. Transmit the EVA report. Winnie. Nope, you can't get out. Trig. Jammer? Jammer can go out and have a look. Don't worry if it's not worth anything, it will be. Video refuses data. We're going to add its data to the lab. So lab eats data you get from your experiments. Again, I really wish I hadn't forgotten that I needed to add stuff like thermometer and that. I'm actually genuinely annoyed at that. But whatever. The goo bay should be good to run again, although materials bay should be good, but I have to run it manually. Open it up. Materials study. Add it to the lab. Now the lab can start research. Generate 2.5 science a day. Now again, I am a bit annoyed we didn't bring more data, but hey ho. In fact, we could do a crew report, I believe, as well, and that will also add some more. 36. Can we do observation from there, I think? No, okay. Yeah, no, my bad on that, because I absolutely would have added those experiments if I thought of it. They're not very heavy. But yeah, there we go. Our lab is up there. We'll leave it up there for a bit. We'll come back again later, and we'll have some more science. So we've also gathered a little bit just from setting it up and running a few of those experiments. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Next time again, we'll go back to trying to land on Minmus. What did we do? It wasn't actually a problem with the probe, was it? It was a problem with no signal, but it wasn't even a case of it was out of range. But we'll fit a bigger antenna anyway, and we'll do it again. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.